Hey guys, alright, got a million things going on right now. We did take the plunge, we put the money down on, Hackberry Fields, track 27, it's 5.41 acres, it's 7 less than what we had here in, Wilburton, but we'll make the best of it. We're gonna kind of corner our cabins around where the stream is at. We have a year-round running stream on the property, and then we're gonna kind of build out from that along the sides going up. We'll have the gardens kind of around where the stream is at, so we'll make it work. I would have made it work in Michigan, and that was only five acres, so we'll make it work. All right. Want to get this video up real quick. Probably won't have time to do 2 of them. Be nice if I did, because I could. No, never mind. I couldn't get through this. I think I'll make the best of it, though, and go eggs, fish, fiber, bees, bugs, worms, and miscellaneous. And then that'll leave keeping your animals happy or healthy. Alright, here we go. Eggs. Just about every egg produced can be eaten. Chicken eggs are obviously the most popular. This is also a great way to bring in extra income to help feed your birds. While chicken eggs are the most popular, duck eggs are rapidly becoming popular among foodies all over the country. Duck eggs fetch a pretty penny, too. Some sources sell duck eggs for $5 each, which means duck eggs can sell for up to $60 a dozen. I would not do that. I would sell them for no more than $6 a dozen, maybe $7. And I would feel guilty for that. A word of advice for those who sell eggs. Don't sell the eggs for less than it takes to produce them. I did the math recently, and with layer pellets costing $15 for 20 pounds, probably the most common way to feed chickens, a dozen eggs is $3.60 in feed costs alone. That doesn't include the original cost of the birds or the cost to raise them to maturity. Most egg sellers I know only charge $2 or $3 a dozen, which means they're probably losing money. No matter what your reasons for raising chickens, if you lose money doing it, you probably won't do it for long. Well, you know what? You shouldn't do it just for the money. It should be done for self-sustainability, not the money. Fish. Fish are unique and valuable products for the homestead, but they have unique requirements compared to other homestead animals, namely a pond or an aquarium. Fish can provide excellent fertilizer for your garden or farming operation. They're great at controlling pests. Many fish thrive on mosquito larvae, and they're excellent sources of protein. Additionally, and tragically, depleted fisheries around the world mean that farmed fish can fetch a good price at markets. Koi fish are one of the most profitable types of fish. A well-graded koi fish can fetch up to $5,000. And while small operations are rare, I'm one of the opinion that fish eggs, or roe, also known as caviar, are a potential source of revenue for a homesteading operation. I would not be doing it for that. Again, I would be doing it for food for our family, for sustainability, where we would catch those fish and smoke them and put them in our root cellar to keep them, or a freezer or something.
This day is no different from any other day. Do I make myself
Okay. Systems made with 55-gallon barrels readily available just about anywhere for a small price can produce 40 to 50 fish a year, while taking up less space than 10 square feet of space. Fiber. I'm an avid crocheter. Me too. I just don't have the yarn to show you guys. And I believe that spending lots of time participating in the fiber arts is good for you and your homestead. It's meditative, it gives you something productive to do in the wintertime, and it's a potential revenue source. Many animals produce fiber, be it sheep, goats, alpacas, or even rabbits. Sheep, goats, and alpacas might not be feasible for fiber sources for many homesteaders, as they require a bit of specific knowledge. Shearing is an often unrecognized art form. And while I encourage everyone to learn new things, it may not be possible to learn in your area. Fiber from Angora rabbits, however, can be harvested with a blow dryer and a tarp. The fleece from Angora rabbits is valued by knitters and crocheters. A single rabbit can produce nearly 1 pound of fiber a year, and like meat rabbits, they're easy to raise in small spaces. While fiber production and sales is often overlooked by homesteaders, fiber production does provide a method to raise animals without harvesting them for meat, which some homesteaders aren't entirely comfortable with. To learn more about rabbits, check out Chris McLaughlin's book, Hobby Farms, Rabbits, Small Scale Rabbit Keeping. It's an excellent resource on all things rabbits, and I'm going to have to make a note of that because I really should probably get that book. I should probably check out all the books that he or she has on homesteading, because Doug and Stacy have recommended her books too. I'm going to try to run through this real quick. Bees, bugs, and worms. Insects and invertebrates, while not normally considered livestock by some, are definitely a way to expand your homestead. In fact, I'd encourage every homesteader to start an earthworm bed before doing any other animal production. And I'm going to talk to Andrew about that, and I'm sure he'll be on board with that. Worms provide you with fertilizer that is perfect for your garden. They also serve as an alternative protein source for chickens or fish if you choose to raise those animals at a later date. It's also possible to sell earthworms to local fishermen for some extra cash. All this for the cost of your discarded coffee grounds and vegetable scraps. Bees make honey, which gets lots of money at a market. Mealworms can be used to feed other animals and are valuable to pet supply stores. Edible snails have a lot of potential for providing income via restaurants and gourmet stores. For the particular brave homesteaders, mealworms, snails, and crickets are all edible, but by many accounts quite tasty. I'm not going there. So it's possible to raise one of the most concentrated protein sources in the world in a space the size of a closet. Miscellaneous. Finally, don't forget about the unusual and often ignored animal products. Chicken, duck, and goose feathers are sold to clothing and bedding suppliers. There's also a market for peacock and emu feathers. Rabbit skins, if processed and dried properly, can sell for a few dollars each. Products like honeycomb can be used by local craftsmen and provide an alternative revenue stream for beekeepers who may be interested in making and selling candles and/or lotions. While most of these ideas aren't enough to justify raising a particular animal in and of itself, a little extra income can often be the difference between breaking even or losing money. Even better, a little extra income can often be the difference between breaking even or making a profit. A profitable homestead is a lot more sustainable than an unprofitable one. And I know that we have to look at that because we're planning on, making it to where our homestead is where we're making our money from. But there are, a lot of things we have to make sure that we're getting what we need for our family, especially to be able to put up. And then we'll work on from there, making it into something that we can make money on. So.
Yeah, he thinks he's pretty smart. Just wait till after school. I'll show him.
Okay. First of all, excuse me for a minute, guys. Okay, sorry, guys. I had a situation. Okay. Well, most of these aren't enough to justify raising a particular animal. Oh, never mind. I already read that. Keeping your animals healthy. I'm just going to try to get through this real quick and then get the video up there. There are tons of resources on how to care for the health of your animals. I'll list a few of them shortly. I also have a lot of pins on different things that you can use that are natural things that you can grow or find, forage that you can find growing wild that can be used to used as medicine for your animals instead of using poison that the vets have that are actually bad for your animals. Okay. But honestly, about 80% of animal health boils down to cleanliness, ventilation, fresh water, and plenty of food. And the food, if it's healthy, if it's freshly grown, and it comes off from your farm, and there's no pesticides or chemicals or anything like that in it, your animals are going to stay pretty healthy. Through thousands of years of domestication, most breeds of animals are hardy and relatively easy to care for. If you can keep their enclosures clean and give them enough ventilation to allow for proper airflow without drafts, then disease and discomfort will be kept to a minimum. Water containers should be rinsed daily and cleaned at least weekly.
Boy, Johnny, love me's gonna love you back.
The water should always be replaced daily. For everything else, please check with your local veterinarian. Most large animal vets can provide all the resources on how to care for cows, alpacas, and the like, but for the following animals, sometimes it's difficult to find a vet experienced in their care. This isn't the fault of the vet. Many of these animals just aren't cared for in the same way as a cow or horse might be. Chickens, for example. Most farmers simply cull a sick bird and bury it in the compost pile. Economics mean some animals just don't receive an equal level of care, but ethically, I believe we should do as much as possible to care for the animals in our stewardship. So here's my favorite list of animal care resources specific to those neglected species. Chickens. A blogger, Lisa Steele, produced a book in the last few years named after her blog. Fresh Eggs Daily is a concise little volume that outlines the care and health needs of chickens from a natural and holistic viewpoint. It's a short and invaluable read. And I'm going to go ahead and underline that. Fresh Eggs Daily by Lisa Steele. Okay. Goats. Well, there are some excellent books on the market about goats and goat care. The best resource for goats, stupid flies, is Fiasco Farm. FAIASCOFARM.com. Fiascofarm.com. Blech, I can't read today. The site is a wealth of information with just about every question on goat health and care asked and answered. While Molly, the owner of the site and farm, produces an herbal wormer, the site provides both natural, holistic remedies as well as conventional remedies and treatments. Okay, I'm going to underline that as well, and I'll let you guys know what I find out on that. Because we will have goats, especially dairy goats, because that's where we're going to get most of our milk products. Rabbits. An aforementioned book by Chris McLaughlin, Hobby Farms Rabbit Small-Scale Rabbit Keeping, is still my favorite resource for all things rabbit. It provides tons of information about the care and health of these little animals. And finally, don't discount a vet for the above. Call around and ask neighbors and other homesteaders. While vets for the above animals aren't always knowledgeable, many vets are, in fact, aware of some of the less popular livestock animals and are more than willing to work on them. For some animals, such as rabbits, vets are used to caring for the pet varieties, which gives them the experience necessary to get you the help you need. This is going to be cutting it close, guys, but I promise I will get this up there today. Keeping your animals happy. Finally, one aspect of animal care that I feel is often overlooked is animal happiness. A lot of the time, especially when raising animals for meat, it's easy to depersonalize or minimize an animal's emotional well-being. Ethically, I believe that as homesteaders and farmers, we have an obligation as stewards of the animals we partner with to provide them with comfortable living arrangements, quality food and care, and when necessary, the proper stimulation to ensure as low stress and happy as existence as possible. Outside of the ethical considerations, there are pragmatic concerns that indicate we should be a bit more concerned with the happiness of animals. Research has shown that stressed and frightened animals produce less milk and fewer eggs. The meat of frightened and stressed animals is of lesser quality and doesn't taste as good. And it's not difficult or expensive to provide some sort of care that allows for animals to live happier lives. So please, take some time to find out what makes your animals happy and try to provide it for them. That level of care will not only pay off and increase yields and higher quality, but it will let you exist with them in such a way that is morally, ethically, and ultimately spiritually rewarding. Animal shelter basics. While there are some specifics to different animal species and their shelter needs, rabbits do a lot better with tunnel space and resting boards. For example, there are some basic requirements all animal enclosures must have. Some are obvious, like a roof, while others not so much. Here are some basics you need to know. Ventilation. When in doubt, ventilate. Airflow is important for animal enclosures. Because animals don't usually leave their enclosures to defecate, the mold and mildew that can build up in the feces inside the enclosure can cause respiratory ailments. Proper ventilation helps prevent this by preventing fungal growth. Room to move. Without the ability to exercise, your animals will get sick and possibly do harm to themselves or others. Some animals don't need much space, but others, like chickens, require a run large enough for them to exercise, socialize, and more. Security. Enclosures have two jobs, keeping animals inside and keeping animals out. Your goats won't live long if predators can get inside their enclosure. This doesn't mean your space has to be Fort Knox. Most predator attacks happen at night while humans aren't around to intervene. The easiest way to deal with this is to lock up your fur and feather babies in the evenings. It'll keep them away from harm and save you money on costly fencing. This doesn't mean that you can skimp, however. I don't know what chicken wire is for, but it's almost useless for keeping chickens safe, and that is definitely true. Alright, and read more about it. For more information on the ethics of providing happiness for animals, read any of the books on animal welfare by Dr. Temple Grandin. Grandin is a pioneer of animal welfare who has done invaluable research on the well-being of animals, focusing particularly on livestock raised for slaughter. Alright, and that was the end of chapter 7, and I will do my best to get that up there like right now, because I've got to get ready to leave within a 20-minute window. So I will see you guys in the next video, which will probably be, I might be able to do one tonight. I don't know. I might, let me see. Maybe I will do a short one, because the next chapter is on record keeping and planning. So I think I'll just do that page. It's called Don't Skip the Planning Stage. So I will probably do that tonight, and I'll work on my quilt and stuff tonight. So I will get this up there, and I will see you guys on the next video, which will, again, more than likely be tonight. So I will see you guys later. Bye, guys.